Okay, so hey guys and welcome back to another Accident 2 video. In today's video I'm back doing another interview and I'm here with Elliott Sowe. Elliott, how are you?
I'm all good, thank you, mate. Thanks for having me on here.
It is a privilege having
Privilege to get involved.
Great, okay, well thank you very much for coming on.
No stress, mate.
Great, okay, so am I right in saying you're 23, you're a super lightweight and you're 4-0?
Yeah, 23. I go between super lightweight and a welterweight. So just they're the two weights that I just jump back and forth from. Wherever the opponent's there forward, and that's what I accept. But it's just them two weights that I'll fight at.
Alright, fair enough. And so if you're new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do indeed like the video, and let's get straight into it. So the question which I always like to start off with is, why did you start boxing?
When you're a young kid, you always get in trouble. You're always when I was younger, I've always loved boxing. When I was younger, I always used to get in trouble in schools and used to fight in the rock streets and just cause grief. So I just thought I always gave myself to when I was about 16, when I was more sensible, and I would have committed myself to it. So I was 16, 17, started boxing from then, and then obviously just when I started driving, I fully committed myself. So obviously I was able to get back and forward, but just always with boxing, always with fighting. So obviously, what better way than to make money from something that you love to do?
Definitely, indeed. And so, you said you started about 16, 17 properly, and so that wasn't too long ago. Do you remember what happened in your first amateur fight?
Just the nerves, ain't it? Because mate, it's the first time you're out there. So, like I say, I didn't have a first amateur fight till about 2 years down the line, because obviously I came with no boxing experience. It was just I just game. So I'll go out to spy anybody and I just want to have it. But then obviously you go behind all the boxing knowledge behind it. So I didn't have a amateur fight till 2 years.
Right.
Today obviously the coaches thought I was ready to make sure because it's a tough sport. Can't go in there, can't do nothing, get punched up. It's not a good way to handle yourself, is it?
No, that's fair. That's the smart thing to do. And so you spoke that you had so you started about 16, 17, you had 2 years without fighting, so about 18, 19 that you properly started. And so how many amateur fights?
I was about 19 when I first had my first amateur.
Yeah. And so how many did you end up racking up?
I think I only got to about 6. And also obviously in Birmingham there's loads of fighters, ain't there? So to get onto shows, it was hard work, and then go around. And obviously COVID happened as well. That took 2 years, but lucky enough, obviously I used COVID to obviously turn my style, because my aim was always to be professional. Obviously that's the aim. That's what kids aim to be when I was growing up, and it. So I had about 7 amateur fights. I think it was 6. My style was always preferred to be professional. It's more static, because amateurs it's more about point scoring, ain't it? And then obviously the professional style is more chess game. It's more playing a game of chess.
Definitely.
You're thinking about your next shot, and then it's all power, speed, technique, all that's together. So it's more about me. So obviously just use COVID to turn over to the pro game, which has helped massive. How massive that was. When COVID was a struggle for some people, it was a massive benefit for me. Right, if it weren't for COVID, I wouldn't be in the situation I'm right now.
Wow. No, that's
like I say, at least some people got some positives from COVID. At least I've got a positive. But then obviously some people got negatives, how it happened to some people.
Definitely, no, that's a very interesting story of when you end up turning over, because I know a lot of people did turn over around the COVID time, but for a lot of people it didn't benefit them to turn over. They'd still struggle to find opponents and stuff like that, but I mean it seemed to benefit you.
Yeah, it benefited me 100%. COVID happened, but you knew my ambition. So, and then I was mate, I was sparring top pros. Obviously I got top pros in my gym, sparring them. I never had a problem. Obviously their levels above, but I could never get dropped. I handled myself. I wasn't scared, so I was showing signs that I could pull up win the pro game. And then obviously always puts people through a task. I say head coach Anthony Hall, he puts people for a task 6 weeks. You just do a camp, say you handle like doing a proper camp. If you can handle a proper camp, because the stress, the headache, they're like 2-3 times waking up in the morning to do your jogs. If you can handle that, then obviously you should be able to handle the whole process. So
definitely,
it's like a mission, if you could say, like a task. Complete the task, then to him it's like, you ready? Obviously, when he knows you're ready, as he knows he's got a man of knowledge, so he knows his business.
Definitely, that's a good way to look at it, and it shows how good coaching you've received, and so it's obviously ended up helping you quite a lot because you're 4-0 at the moment, and so that kind of leads me on to my next question, being which fight do you believe you performed your best in?
It's a tough one because in each I've fought 4 fights, and I've had an exhibition fight because obviously I was meant to have my first pro debut, but the day before. Opponent split open his head.
Oh, right.
But obviously he sold tickets, cashed in, everything. So it was literally looking off. My manager John Pegg came along like, man, I don't know how he done it, but obviously man have the power and skill in it. So said he's got a fight there ready. Like it's gonna be an exhibition for the weight difference, hard heavier gloves, and the whole experience. But it's just the experience of getting into the ring, definitely. Which is like I played fit. So in my 4 proper fights I've had, every single one of them fights I've done something different, like a different style. Just obviously this is your learning curve fights, ain't it? So definitely. You want to try things out, new things out. But my favourite one was my pro debut versus Josh Huggins. Like everyone asks me, and that's always like, because that's my fight. That is like it was 2 weight categories above. Like say like fight it or take it or not. So I took the fight. 2 weight categories, you could see a massive weight difference, but it was like I went toe for toe, no shy away. That's my kind of fight. Definitely. So pro debut as well, you had a bag of nerves, and that was my favourite. Like 4 rounds. I was at the end of the round, you're just blowing steam, could just let yourself loose. Backwards and forwards. But then my recent one, I think it was the Lee Davis, something like that, Divine, something. That was a worst case, more skill. I was in back foot, in foot. I was showed like rolls, pivots. That's more skill wise. So if I'm talking about skill, it will have to be my latest fight. Right. Like, but talking about how me as a personal way, how I prefer this fight. Therefore, for pro debut versus Josh Huggins.
No, that's interesting, especially the fact of you. Like certain people, they want their debut to be a fight just to kind of settle them in. But the fact that you managed to take it straight with somebody 2 weight classes above is a respectable thing. Yeah,
like I say, when you're home fight, you gotta make weight, but sometimes you gotta take it, leave it in it. So find out the weight. But obviously, we agreed on a weight, so we weren't supposed to weight that weight. But because obviously I had it before that. Went to my pro debut 2 weeks before, so it was like a quick minute plan set. So I was meant to put weight on, so it's my fault as well. So not all blame there. Like the fight was meant to be super hard, but I said I couldn't put enough weight on with all the high intensity training. It was still showing in, so I was still at the same weight. So a bit of my side as well.
Well, these things happen, especially at the start. You'd rather have this happen at the start of your career than later on down the line.
I say, like, start your career. These are you take the chances, don't you? Like, and when the later goes, that's when it gets like more serious. Like every second is important.
Definitely.
You can't take them chances. Like it's a serious sport out here. So especially how things are going, like that people are dying. They don't realize how serious the actual sport is. So you just gotta make sure you're ready all times. You never know what's going to happen around the corner.
Definitely. And so that moving on to, you spoke about what you've done so far in your career, but what about the future? When will you be back fighting?
Like I say, so people know, like I was meant to fight last weekend. The 10th of September. I was meant to be fighting. I was because I had so many fights out of the back. I wanted to like refresh myself, rebuild. Learn new trade skills, so I was all set, ready, raring to go. It was the best camp I've had, mate. I was more than ready for this one. 10th September, I was meant to be out again through the park. But obviously the Queen passing away, postponed all boxing matches for the weekend. For obviously football matches got postponed, cancelled, and boxing events. So I found out the day before. Obviously gutted as everyone else would have been, but these things happen, hurdles. But like I say, my coach knows, manager knows, I'm ready. Get a call, wherever it is, whenever it is, whoever it is. I'm just ready to go, raring to go. Just excited to be back out there. Like I say, they know the plan. So whenever I can get out there, earliest the better.
Great. And so you spoke about how eager you are to be fighting, and I'd imagine that goes into you when you're actually fighting, and that kind of leads me on to my next question of why should people come and watch you? What makes you interesting?
I say the fight I'm in, like, an interesting fight. I've got power, but obviously the weight difference is they're all different styles. But people know like I'm a kung fu fighter, so obviously when I want to let loose, it's entertaining. Like say people like you got to put in school. You got to make sure when you're at early stages, all you got to do is make sure you win the fight. That's all. That's in the back of my mind. All you got to think about is winning the fight, really, especially at these stages of your career. Because if you lose at these stages, like it's a tough sport, like tough to go there. So I have spells that I'm ready to game. Everyone knows I'm game, ready to go for war. I like to go toe for toe. And obviously, like everyone loves Conor Ben, because what does Conor Ben do? Brings the fight, goes to war. He just wants to have it off. So they're the best kind of fights. I'm 20. Like I say, I'm 23. I don't want to go to war. I can't be going to war all the times, but so I like to showcase a few times I can go to war, so you can expect it. So I just like expect like a young, good-looking prospect coming from Birmingham, coming through. So hopefully we get there.
Great. And so you kind of spoke about the upcomingness of you, and so that leads me on to how far do you believe you can go? How far can you come up?
Everyone has their dreams, ain't there? Everyone wants to be world title or champion, so that's just the bonuses. My name I would love to get is the British. I'll be able to get the British belt. Whatever weight category it comes under, but my main goal is getting the British belt.
No, that's great. That's
like, I think that's like a dream for most English boxers, because that's a big belt to get, and obviously just go in the history books of I was the best in Britain and that for that at that period of time. So that's my main goal. That's my main goal. That if that happens, I'll be happy. I'll have a happier career. Whatever happens after that happens, but that's my main aim.
No, that's great. That's it's very common, like you said, for British fighters to want to get that belt, as it is such a prestigious belt, and that's fair enough. But if you want to get to that level, you're going to have to kind of fight some big fights, and that kind of leads me on to my next question of, could you possibly give me, maybe not for the moment, but maybe for down the line, a dream opponent of yours?
Could I give you a dream opponent? Like say, opponents out there, but I haven't got no one in my mind that I want to fight him. Like I say, my manager knows, coach knows. Fight whoever. Like, man, I've had fights. I don't know who I'm fighting till I tell them, don't tell me to fight. Like I say, I'm a boxer. This is what I'm meant to do. Like I should. They tell me what opponent is. I can't tell them I don't want to fight them. That's not how it should be. So I should be. I'm just game to fight anyone. I say, whoever they give me. They're the people that's like in control of me. So whoever they think I should have, whoever wants to fight, they know what how the process would be.
No, that's great.
So, I haven't got no one to my mind, to the back of my mind that I want to fight.
No, that's fair enough. It is a very good mindset to have, especially at this point of your career, because you might not know everybody that you're going to be fighting at this point of your career, but you just kind of want to go in there and just kind of prove yourself more than anything.
Yeah, like I say, like I ain't got no, obviously start the career, you ain't got no hatred of no fighters really, like you haven't got no grief against nobody. Everyone's just, like I say, everyone just respects. Obviously, everyone respects every boxer. Every pro boxer respects every pro boxer. It's a hard thing to go into the ring. It's a different story. But like even in boxing, not in pro boxing, all boxing in total. Go into the ring, it's like you get respect.
Definitely.
Like I say, just respect to everyone at the moment, and you know when close down the line, people are like battling each other to get the title shots and stuff. Obviously, that's when the call outs and stuff start be happening.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
That stage comes along.
Mm-hmm.
Just happy to fight whoever.
Mm-hmm. Great. And so I'll leave it with this final question, which I always like to ask. You've got a little bit of a platform here. Would you like to shout anything out?
Yeah, just obviously big shout to all my fans, people that come to my fights, every fight in and out. Big shout to all them. Big shout to my coach, obviously Anthony Hall, main coach. I would never be in a situation I'll be without him. Even like Vincent guy, strength and condition, fitness, improved massively. Like twice a week with him, 3 times with Anthony Hall. Shout out to my manager, do all, and my sponsors. Obviously, I got a nutritionist sponsor. We prepping me. That's what I say. That's why I fought so good in this camp.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they've been nutritioning me. The nutrition side's been on point. I've been all good up, fueled up. And big shout to my other sponsor, Mellow Catering. Obviously, the best Caribbean around Birmingham or around the whole town. So people got to check it out, man. Big shout to everybody.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great. Okay, well, thank you very much for doing this interview, mate.
No stress, mate. Thanks for having me anyway. It's been a good one.
Mm-hmm. And so maybe in a few years when you're fighting for these British belts, we can do a return interview. Yeah,
we'll have a return, man. We'll have you reviewing. We'll have you having a ticket and everything ready.
Yeah? Alright, okay.
Yeah, you'll be there, man. Like that's a promise. When I get that shot, man, I'll get your ticket sorted.
Alright, great. Okay, well, legend, mate. Alright, okay. Well, if you are new around here and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like the video if you do need like the video, and thanks for watching.